Hey, what's going on? I'm Toby.
I'm Micah.
And listen, check this out. You're watching Dropping Nuggets with Toby and Micah, where we convert life experiences into actionable lessons. And tonight, again, get your buckets ready because we are about to drop some nuggets. Mike, how you feeling about tonight? How you feeling?
I'm very, very excited. We're so happy that you guys have tuned in with us on tonight. As Toby said, we definitely are dropping nuggets this evening for you guys. Before we go any further, I definitely have to give a shout out to a very special woman who is very near and dear to my heart, one of my biggest supporters, my grandmother, Ernestine Baker. Today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Granny. I hope that you have had a great day. I love you so much, and your support never goes unnoticed.
Okay, you gonna sing? You gonna sing
No,
happy birthday?
no, I'm not.
Why? Come on, you can sing. You can sing happy birthday, Stevie Wonder style.
No, I love her a
Happy
lot, but not enough to sing in front of hundreds.
Happy birthday to Miss Ernestine. And I can't sing, you know what I'm saying? But you on the praise team though, you can sing. You should be able to like this.
I sing for the Lord. It's a difference.
With your grandmother, you going when you go see her, you gonna sing to her, right?
Yeah, when we finish with this, I will call her and sing happy birthday to her.
Absolutely. That's what's up. Well, listen, I don't want to really like hold up a lot of this time, but here's a couple things we do want to say to you guys is that remember, we're the third Thursday of every month. And I know some of you guys are like, man, we want to get you guys more than that. Well, right now, we're the third Thursday of every single month. Next month, March 20th, is when we'll be back. We got special guests in March. Hopefully, we'll have a special guest in April. Man, how you feel about so this? I think this is kind of tight. We had one show, right? And it feels like it's been like a year since we had that last one.
January was like 3 years long.
That's what it seemed like. It's what it really seemed like. It's like a long time. But the interesting thing is between then and now, we actually got invited to do a live event, which we'll talk about that in the next few months, which I think is really pretty cool. How you feel about that?
Very excited, very honored. It shows that what we, are doing is already very impactful. It's reaching people, it's resonating, which that is what we wanted. That is the overall goal. And it's just very reassuring as someone, as much as this is for other people, it's also for me. I get encouragement out of this because it's still me stepping out of the box, out of my comfort zone. So to get invited to do a live event, I'm just blown away.
Show them your shirt, because I know you want people to see it. Boom.
I'm Black. Happy Black History Month.
Right. I feel you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do because I'm ready. I'm ready to go ahead and get rolling. Our special guest, I'm gonna let you introduce our special guest because you know our special guest way better than I do. So I'm gonna let you take the driver's seat and get going.
Our special guest on tonight is someone that I have known for 30 years now, my entire life. She is an extremely successful attorney, so many other good things, and I'm so excited that she is our very first special guest, and I cannot wait for her to share her story. So without further ado, introducing Noelle Sillmon, America's favorite Barbie attorney.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you see us? Can you hear us? Can you all that stuff?
I can.
Okay. We good. This is what's up. This is the first time we've done like you the first guest. So listen, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. This is our first interview, but we're excited that you are our first guest. And like I said, I'm gonna sit back and chill. I don't know if I'm in the middle. How am I in the middle on y'all screen?
You're on
you
the
can't
end.
Okay, well, go ahead, Micah. I'm gonna let you go ahead and.
Well, first,
let me say this. First of all, Noelle, congratulations on the accomplishment, becoming an attorney. That's something I wish I can if I wanted to, but I don't think I have the discipline to go through all that like you did. And so, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on that, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about some other things here, but But if something ever happens, I know I got somebody to come to, probably, depending on what it is you do, practice, you specialize in. But I guess we'll get into all that. But go ahead, Michael.
Well, Noelle, first off, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's an honor to have you on Dropping Nuggets with Toby and Micah. My first question is, what made you decide that you wanted to be an attorney? What was that defining moment when you were like, this is what I want to do?
So I was at a football game. So I didn't declare a major at Auburn. So for about 2 to 3 years, I had just been going to college with no clear direction. Um, so I was having a conversation with my father, and he ended up asking me, have I ever been interested in law? And like, not really. And then I was working for an Auburn football team. And I sat beside this girl, and she told me that her brother was a lawyer and he was an agent. And that was the first time I had ever heard of, a different type of lawyer. By that time, I had already declared political science a pre-law because Auburn didn't have a pre-law program. So once I got started, the ball just kept rolling. So a lot of my professors at Auburn were attorneys or had went to law school at least. So once I had got the ball started, then I had to see it all the way through.
So you went to Auburn?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that hurts.
War Eagles.
Well, I'm a Carolina fan. I went to Carolina, and so you guys are football fans, though, mainly, right?
Right.
Are you basketball fans?
We're number one in the nation right now, so we are.
Absolutely. That's why I'm like kind of bitter because we played y'all this year and y'all really beat us really bad.
We deserve
it. Yeah. I hate that.
So
let me ask, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So was there like, so basically you want to become a lawyer because you heard there was different types.
Yeah.
Other than what you knew about. So there wasn't no moment where you was like, did you always want to be a lawyer?
No, I didn't. And I meet people who like I knew in elementary school. I did not know. So my life is truly my life is truly starting a journey and staying the course.
Mm.
And being able to flow with the currents of life and being able to be okay with that and to see what doors can be open, even if you never expected it, saw it, grew up with it. Life can unfold and be better than you could even imagine.
Mm.
Definitely. So talk to us about your journey in choosing a law school. Was it your first choice? Things of that nature. And when you got there, what was that experience like?
So in my journey there, so just to clarify, because I spoke with some high school students earlier this week, and to become a lawyer, at minimum, you have to do 7 years. And they kept saying, like, that's a long time. And I'm like, is it really? They was like, yeah. But for me, when it comes to the journey, you're just trying to get over the next hurdle to get there. So I really didn't even notice. But for me, in fact, it took me 10 years. I graduated in 5 years. I took a 2-year break. I did law school, and then I didn't pass on the first try. So it took me 2 years after that to persevere. So my journey was 10 years. But for my law school, I did not know where I was going to go to law school. And I didn't have any direction because, mind you, I'm first generation. So first generation, you just have a different struggle because you don't know. And I met with this attorney, and I remember her saying, Noelle, I applaud you because I come from a family of attorneys. So, my path was laid out, and I really had to build the yellow brick road for myself. So it took me taking the initiative of driving down to my, at that time, my alma mater, which was Auburn, and talking to people like, hey, I need help. And somebody told me to apply for this law school, Jones in Montgomery, and just see what happens. Mind you, at that time, I had moved away from Alabama. So I had just swore I was never moving back to Alabama. So
Where'd you move?
that, to Johnson City.
Oh, so you moved it. Okay, okay. So you moved to Tennessee. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Then you went back to Alabama.
Yes, be careful what you say, cause I swore I ain't going back to Alabama, and I've been here 7 to 8 years.
Mm, mm. So you the first. Is that right? You the first person in your family to be a lawyer.
Yes,
Wow, that's some Black history.
thank you. If there's any others, please stand up, but I don't know of any.
She's the first. She's the first. And not that definitely is Black history within our family, but within the community that we grew up in, Lincoln, Alabama, she is the first Black female attorney from our hometown as
Oh,
well.
okay, okay.
So, Noelle, how does that feel to be breaking barriers not only within your family, but in your community? And do you understand the impact that you hold?
Mm,
Okay, that's two-part question. So, how does it feel? It's an honor um, to carry a torch because you don't understand. I never met a female. First of all, I never met an attorney until I became an adult. I definitely never met a female attorney, and I definitely didn't meet a Black attorney.
right.
Um, and I can just imagine, coming from a small town, not knowing, not knowing it was possible. And by the time I graduated at 18, you couldn't have told me I would have become an attorney. You couldn't have. My first year of college, you couldn't have told me. So to be able to do that, break barriers and open the doors, it's just an honor. And what was the second part of your question?
Do you understand the impact that you hold?
I do not.
Mm,
Because for me, being in Montgomery, I see so many attorneys that look like me, and you're able to have community here. But then elsewhere, that's not the case. And I think we make up, first of all, less than 2% um, of attorneys. So it's just when I meet people and they're shocked or they congratulate me, that lets me know that just the impact, even in 2025, um, people don't meet a lot of younger Black female attorneys.
yeah, I looked that up as far as like how many, what's the percentage of Black women that are attorneys, and I saw like between 4 to 7, but I also saw what you seen, like less than 2%. And I was like, well, either way, it's not a lot. And I think it's interesting to me because, especially with everything going on right now, DI, everybody want to go to this merit-based, merit-based system and everything of that nature. But when you look at like merit-based, you got to include education in that a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the demographics of the most educated demographic group in America, it's Black women. They make up the biggest demographic of educated people in America, Black women, but yet they're underrepresented in a lot of positions. Upper
Absolutely.
position lawyers, but lower paid positions. Oh, you see they everywhere. But in those leadership positions, higher paid positions, they're underrepresented. So what would you say to a Black female like who who's looking to go in to be a lawyer? You know what I'm saying? And they're looking at it from the standpoint of, I don't know if I got the resources to do it. I don't know if I got the backing to do this. How would you encourage somebody like that who may be in high school right now and they're thinking about going to college to be a lawyer, especially a Black woman?
Absolutely. Do it. Do it anyways. There's plenty of us. We did not have the perfect pathways to get here. First generation obviously comes with other hardships. You do it anyway. You do it scared. You do it broke. You do it with not knowing how to get there. I mean, I remember because you had to ask for letter of recommendations on to even apply, and I didn't do it the correct way. And I remember this professor who was also an attorney, he set me down and he said, yes, Noelle, I'll write yours, but this is how you do it. So I didn't have all the pieces to the pie. I didn't know how it was going to unfold, but you still do it anyway. And you still do it anyway with this current administration and what you see going on in the world right now, you don't stop. The goal is for you to become fearful and stop. Don't stop. Don't
Mm.
stop. If you want to go, set your sights on where you want to go and align yourself with the things that you need to do to be able to become an attorney.
Definitely.
Mm.
So you mentioned the word, you said pathway. So let's talk about your pathway to becoming a attorney. A lot of people feel like, the path is straight and narrow. It ain't gonna be no bumps in the road. So let's talk about your experience taking the bar. How was that?
A nightmare. It was a
So what?
nightmare.
Let me ask you this: what does the what like? Walk us through what the bar is like.
Okay.
Like,
The bar. Now I don't know the exam that medical doctors have to take. So I'm not gonna slight them. But I would say the bar is by far the hardest exam of any
mm,
profession. It's made that way, right? We are somewhat of a secret society. So they have to do something to keep others out. It is where it's a 2 day exam, um, where you test for 6 hours a day with an hour
mm,
break.
mm,
Prior to that, you study for about 2.5 months. It's an expensive exam. On top of that, the first time is $1,000. After that, it's at minimum between 500 to another $1,000 each time, and it's only given twice a year.
Mhm.
mm,
Um, so that's just the basics of even getting, applied. The bar exam itself, I think it tests almost 12 to 15 topics, and you don't know what topics they're gonna cover.
mm.
So
So you said it was a nightmare. Can you explain that a little bit more for our viewers who don't understand what that really means?
it means that I studied for 2 months and still didn't know what was going on.
Mm.
I remember just like sitting down and I didn't even understand the first questions, and I knew, okay, this gonna be a doozy, right? On top of it, you are testing with maybe 400 to 500 other people, all in the same ballroom. So you got that added pressure, and then you got the added pressure of you just want to pass, right? So just the fear of not knowing at that time, I didn't know what to expect. Um, so that also played a role in me not passing the first time. Also, I had let people put a lot of fear in me,
Mm.
um,
Mm.
and that manifested itself. So I was fearful and tired the entire time I studied the first go round.
What do you mean by like place fear in you? Like this things they were saying to you?
Yes, yes. Fear based, just fear based statements. What happens if you can't? What happens if you don't? Just not approaching it from the aspect that I could. Um, and so I had too many of those conversations that didn't need to be had.
Mm.
See, the last time I took the bar exam, a lot of people didn't know that I was taking it. I didn't tell people. I didn't even tell my whole family. I think one of the only two friends knew and some mentors.
Mm.
I didn't tell anybody the last go round. It was just a different aspect and a different Goliath that I had to conquer. So I had to be selective and use discernment on how to win this war.
Mm.
Look, that's a nugget right there. It's like if you got a bucket right now, she just dropped one in your bucket right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta be selective. You gotta prioritize the people in your life when you going after stuff. That's like that's real.
Thank you.
That's like yeah, I'm dealing with that right now. If I to be honest with you, like prioritizing people and that can be especially when it comes to your family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially when it comes to your family and people who are close to you. So yeah, that's key right there.
So you went from, the first time letting people in, and it really put a lot of unnecessary and undue fear, that you already had yourself. And that kind of, you know, you had didn't have a good
It
time.
aided in the manifestation. You ain't got the sweet turkey. It aided in the manifestation.
So the second go round, you were very selective, and
Not the second go round. The
the third go round,
fourth. Not the third go round.
fourth,
Fourth go
okay,
round.
fourth go round.
Okay, so you took the bar 4 times.
4 times. No breaks.
So
No breaks.
let's talk about that, because
Yes.
you took the bar 4 times, and I was reviewing some of your information, and you went from taking the bar 4 times to now you have a 98% success rate in your mediation cases. First off, congratulations. That is
Thank you.
major. That is
Thank you.
major.
Absolutely.
But how do you not let having to take the bar 4 times determine what your career would be like? Because a lot of people be like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be a good attorney. You took that as fuel. So talk to us about that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So over here, we don't let fear win, right? And we don't let trials, because they're all preparation. And my mentor that I work for, he told me nothing is wasted.
Mhm.
Nothing is wasted in this career. And he was talking about in this career, but you can apply it to your own life. Nothing is wasted. So each job I worked at, it prepared me to be a good attorney. No matter how stressful it was, I was helping them run law firms. I was learning how to draft briefs and motions and appeals. All of that was preparation. Was it fun? No. But you really can't tell me jump now because I know how to do everything. I know how to take money. I know how to do consultations. I know how to do discovery. Mind you, I've only been practicing. It hasn't been 3 years. April will make it 3 years. So I had to change my point of view on the time of where I was. And I read this book. Um, it was called The Alchemist, and it's about this guy who has this goal, and he thinks he's just gonna go to Egypt on a 1 week trip, and ends up taking him 3 years. Takes him years to get to Egypt, right? But in the meantime, he meets different people. Thank you, Holy Spirit. He meets different people. Some of them he don't like, but each person he met was there to teach him a new lesson to get to the next step, to get to the ultimate goal. So that was the point of view I had, that all of it was preparation. So I can't look at it in a negative way because it prepared me to be the attorney I am today, and really the attorney that I will be in my career.
Okay, so you took the bar 4 times.
No
thousand
breaks.
dollars the first time. With the other three, what, five, between 5 to 1,000. Okay, there's a term that's coming to my head right now. It's called sunk cost fallacy.
Okay.
SUNK, sunk cost fallacy. And this to put it in general term, define it generally. It's just like when you've invested so much time, energy, money into something or into someone, but you look at it and you're like, but it's not really benefiting me. You know what I'm saying? I put all this energy into this, but I don't see no ROI. I don't see no return on the investment. So it's not
Right.
benefiting me. And so a lot of times you see this, people use this sunk cost fallacy in relationships a lot of times. Because
Yeah.
like you hear somebody say, this relationship's not working, but I'm invested too much time into this to get out of
Absolutely.
this relationship. And so therefore, that gives me the justification to stay committed to the relationship because I've invested too much time. And so normally it's in a negative light when I hear sunk cost fallacy. And like after the second time, or maybe the third time, it didn't enter in your mind anywhere that maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes. Yes. So mind you, I had saved up money from law school and just working. I had saved up money to be able to kind of float me just in between. I think either by the second or the third time I had squandered my whole savings. So I
Mm.
didn't have any money, right? But this is how alignment works. I had missed out the third time I failed the bar. It was about 1 point. And you heard those
Oh,
stories. I heard those stories and I thought they weren't true. I just didn't even like believe it was true that you could really miss the bar by 1 point. And that was me. I remember I was driving to work and they sent the email. I was literally shaking. But when I saw that I had missed about 1 point, I literally screamed. I didn't even cry. I screamed. Like I pulled over and screamed. Cause I'm like, God, this point, I had sunk all my money into this. I don't have any more money, God. Like, maybe this ain't for me. Like, maybe I ain't supposed to be doing this. Cause Lord, if you didn't know that anybody else needed to pass it the first time, you know I needed it.
mm,
Like I'm
mm.
first generation, right? So I don't have my steps paved by somebody else. Like I have to do the paving myself. So I'm like, God, like, are you with me? But he was with me because I had said I wasn't gonna take it. I ain't gonna take it. No, I ain't gonna take it this time. I'm gonna take a break. I'm just tired. I'm gonna take a break. And a friend called me and she was on the phone with her mentor. And her mentor said, if Noelle is off by 1 point, tell Noelle to take it again. Tell Noelle to take it again. I didn't have any money. So I'm like, God, what like it's like I don't have any money to take this bar. And mind you, from the day you get notice of failing, you only have a week to turn around and get the money to reapply. You don't have a
Oh, wow.
long time. You can't work it, right? So
Mm.
I end up calling two mentors and they sent me the money. It was those times that I was like, okay, God wants me to keep going.
Mm. Mm. That,
So let's talk about your mentors, because to
Okay.
have a relationship with these people and they pay for you to take the bar again, they had faith in you even when you couldn't see it in yourself. So can you talk about some of the people that have impacted your journey to where you're at now?
Absolutely. One of them is my good friend, Ashley Nash. She really just got in there with me. Um, I couldn't even afford to pay for bar prep, and she shared her stuff with me. Nastasia Mahan, she had been my mentor for law school. Kamisha Logan, she had been my mentor from law school. I ended up talking to the attorney that I was working, excuse me, the judge I had used to work for. He was constantly telling me, keep going, don't stop. Like Judge Hardwick, I honor him for that. I honor the attorney I was working with at that time because I learned a lot from him. And he also gave me time to take off to study. So
mm.
at that time, that was the network of people and attorneys who kept me going. It wasn't a lot. Five people.
Mm. So what was Micah saying to you during this time?
Yeah, let's
That's
make
what
that
I want to know.
sense. No, don't. Let's make that sense. Let's make that
Like,
sense.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Family and friends who aren't in it, their perspective of it is just gonna be a little bit different, right? Like they just don't understand the impact and the trauma that is. I gotta study. So this ain't no regular studying for no test. It's really projected that you study 8 hours a day like it's a job. So mind you,
mm,
at this time I have to work and study, and I don't have any money. So they were just all friends and family. They were definitely encouraging to keep going, but they didn't know. They didn't know when I was gonna get over that hurdle. So that's the
mm,
difference between, kind of like mentors and family and friends. Like they have been in the trenches too. So in different ways in this law field. So they could just see it like they kept telling me like this gonna be it. I'm like, I don't know if this gonna be it. And they were like, this gonna be the time you make it. Like I
right.
had so much on my back. They were like, God ain't got no other choice but to help you out on this. Like this is gonna be your time. It ended up being my time.
I'm
So
loving it.
I have no, Toby, go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm just saying I'm loving it. I'm loving when I'm here. I love the resilience. I love it.
So Two more questions. I know we told you guys 30 minutes. So I'm gonna make it quick. What is the biggest takeaway or biggest piece of advice that you would give to anybody, whether they are in college, whatever journey that they are on? They've had a few doors closed and they almost feel like giving up. What is your biggest piece of advice to them?
Okay. The biggest advice, and it's something I have on a sticky note, and I went and wrote it down, and I still have this sticky note up as of today. And it says, what is the sight that can see that is beyond time? So what is the picture that you can place in your mind that it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, you're going to get there. That is what you have to take with you. What is the sight that can see beyond time? Because time is just an illusion. So don't get caught up on it, right? When I met the kids earlier this week, they were like, 7 years is long. I'm like, it is long, but I was just going through life. So I didn't even pay attention that it took that long. And mine took even longer. So set your sights on something and don't waver. Society, and I have issues with how people handle adversity. Don't waver. If this is the sight that you have set, you will get there. You have to see it beyond time. Time should not be number one. Put time in the back. Just get to the point.
That's really good. That's another nugget. Because the thing that I say that goes along with what you're saying is if you can't see the ultimate, you become a slave to your immediate situation.
Nice.
And so, you know what I mean? So if I can see beyond where I'm currently am, even like what you're doing, didn't pass the bar the first three times, but yet you was able to see beyond that, like you said, and you didn't allow yourself to become paralyzed, enslaved by your, I hate to call it failures because it ain't really failures, only failure we didn't learn from it. So obviously you learned something the fourth time around because you passed it, but that's solid information right there. And I hope all of you guys heard that right there. You got to be able to see beyond, because if it ain't worth it, Noelle is letting you know right now. It's got to be worth it. It's got to be worth. If it ain't worth it, you're gonna give up the first time. You're definitely gonna give up the second time. And if you broke, you definitely gonna give up. You know what I'm saying? And so it's got to be worth it to you. And so, I applaud you for that tenacity and you being locked in like that.
So, last question. 10 years, 4 tries to now very successful in less than 3 years, 98% success rate. I'm never going to let that go. What can we expect next for America's favorite Barbie attorney? What's next for Noelle?
Just blowing up, getting into new areas, continuing to help people in the community, people that need help, because I am still, a servant of God's people, and when I pray about being an attorney, I always go back to that, right? God, thank you for letting me be a servant of your people, because that's all I do. I provide a service to God's people. So just opening new areas of law, learning new areas of law, and continuing to fight for my clients.
I got two questions. I got two real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what do you specialize in? Is there something yeah.
Okay. So I'm like considered maybe a general practitioner. So what that means is that we may practice a variety. So I've touched a variety of law, civil, family, juvenile. That's really, and mental health court. That is really my main right now. Not criminal.
You don't want to do criminal at all?
Maybe later on, but not right now.
What would you be? Would you be a defense or a prosecutor?
Just defense, because prosecutors, they work for the state.
Got you. See, you educating me. I didn't know all that. And then here's
when you see you hear the state versus blank.
Right. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Okay, so here's my last question. So where did this name come from? America's favorite
Barbie.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know I see all the pink, but I'm just saying,
pink,
but like
the pink, and you know, I have the luxury, right? I have the luxury within this field. So anybody who's interested in this field, it's a luxury because we get to craft our own way. We don't have to. Can y'all hear me?
mm-hmm.
I don't know if it went out, but we
Yeah,
don't have to. Okay, you know, traditionally, you know, attorneys wore black and gray and navy, and it was a more stricter type of law. The way it's set up now, you know, you can really carve your own persona. And America's Favorite Barbie Attorney just kind of just felt easy for me, especially with all the pink. And every time I would come into court, they would either say something about my pink or just Barbie, everything. So I was just like, this is me. This is
I
me.
love it. It's like a
Thank
Netflix. It's like a Netflix series.
Yeah, so and you know, hopefully, you know, soon Mattel will reach out to me and they'll make a Barbie.
Hey, you never know. Michael, you need to get on that.
I'm gonna be her manager.
Right.
I'm gonna be her manager.
Right.
Noelle, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight, to share your story, to drop some nuggets. And I definitely hope you guys were soaking that up. So much good stuff was shared on tonight. So just thank you so much for making the time to hang out with us.
Absolutely. Yeah,
No
and
problem.
your mom was listening. Just so you know.
She better.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt. Appreciate you guys. And like I said, March 20th, we'll be back. We have some special guests March 20th. But this was good. This was good.
It was.
I don't know what else to say.
Always.
We got to have her back. Is this your first time? Is this your first time doing something like this?
It is. It is.
How you feel about it?
It's not as bad because I'm talking to y'all, so it's not bad like I thought.
I got you. I got you. But again, we appreciate you, America's Favorite Barbie Attorney. Wait a minute.
Thank you.
Did I say it right?
Yes,
That's
you got it right. You got it right.
Okay, America's Favorite Barbie Attorney, Miss Noelle. We appreciate you. Until next time, hey, we dropping nuggets. Get your buckets ready and apply all this stuff that you heard us talk about. Write it down, apply it to your life, and watch yourself go to a whole nother level. Don't give up. Don't quit. If you don't get past it the first time, do it again. You don't get past the second time, do it again. Look, you heard 4 times she took the bar. You ain't got no excuse to give up. You ain't got no excuse to give up.
Not one.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Don't hang up. Hold on.
Who, me?
Yeah, you stay on here for a second.
Okay.
Stay on here for a second because I have to let this up.